Coming up today on Campus Chatter, we will be talking sports, we'll talk a little politics, and we'll also be introducing our newest segment, Campus Chatter Hits the Streets. So this is a show you don't want to miss. Welcome everybody, welcome to Campus Chatter. This is our second episode. I am the young visionary Colby Thompson, here with my boy Todd.
Yes, sir. This is the young king himself, Todd, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens,
to the best 30 minutes of your life.
You hear me? The second episode of Campus Chatter.
But look, before we even get everything under the way, Todd, I got an announcement to make, so everybody listening, all the listeners, everybody that cares about Campus Chatter. I was misquoted last episode because I kept saying that we were gonna have another co-host.
It was jokes. Nah, but
we're not gonna have another co-host, guys. We're not gonna have another co-host. The young lady that we wanted to use, she's a little busy. Yeah, and I understand that. You know, we're all college students. We're all busy, so.
And shouts out to her, man. We love you. Get everything you need to do done. You know, we're proud of you. But you know,
I know she's happy that we didn't say her name on the first episode.
Well,
because then people would have been asking questions.
Dang, what happened? I thought you was supposed to be on the Campus Chatter. What happened?
It's supposed to be the best show ever. But so I just want to clear that up real quick. But since we cleared that up, then you know I gotta get my words together. But, Todd, what's going on with sports, bro?
For this week in sports, let me start off by saying shout out to our own Mules football team for going 3-0, ladies and gentlemen, 3-0. 3-0, yes, sir. They have a good streak going for themselves, and hopefully they'll make it 4-0 this week. I forgot who they're facing, but it'll be a home game, so make sure you come out and show support for these boys.
This Saturday.
Hopefully they'll make it 4-0. You know, these boys need to get this national championship for the home, for the Berg, you feel what I'm saying? So, you know, that's all.
The basketball team has done it before.
Oh, yeah. And now
it's time for the football team
at least
to add to the national championship.
In our lifetime, in our college lifetime at least. We need that to happen. We need that. That's good for the culture. You feel me? But let's go ahead and get over to the, just NCAA sports general D1. I was really impressed this weekend. Houston and Cincinnati. That kind of took off. Fourth quarter, Cincinnati was up 16 to whatever, and Houston took the flip off. I mean, 40-16. What happened?
They didn't score again.
What happened?
They stopped.
Shout out to Miami making it look like the old U days. They scored against Appalachian State 45-10. Shout out to Wisconsin going against Georgia State 23-17. Alabama, of course, good big ups to y'all. It was a crazy game. I watched it down to the last second. It could have went left because Ole Miss is trying to make some stuff happen. But the boys,
Ole Miss is a good football team.
Oh yeah.
They really kind of.
Yeah, but that freshman quarterback Alabama guy,
he nice.
Dude is.
I see he wearing Derrick Henry jersey.
Yeah,
it kind of threw me off at first, but
we got it. I mean, dude. But this thing about it, we was looking at this is a 19-year-old kid. He's so calm and so poised, like. He don't even get hyped when he scored a touchdown. He just look at everybody like, all right, yep.
Like the quarterback for the Crimson Tide, and you just
dogging. Like he a true freshman.
Like he doesn't care.
This man is a true freshman. Also, I would like to say shout out to Georgia State, hometown Atlanta, Georgia, for beating Mizzou. How that feel, y'all? How that feel? Does it sting? Does it sting? Missourians, but it's okay though because we repping the Mules here. We chose red, so we don't care. Memphis got in Kansas, boy, something terrible, 43-7. Just stop, somebody.
No, one player that you didn't bring up from the NCAA standpoint, that boy Lamar Jackson.
Oh, Mr. Jackson.
From Louisville, the quarterback.
Is that
out there looking like young?
Is that who? No, Vic said he's 5 times better than him now. Like, that's crazy. And that's coming from Vic.
Did you not see him play this weekend?
Mr. Jackson. That's why I refer to him as Mr. Jackson. He's earned that title. When you do something so good in sports, I have to call you Mr. I'm not going to address you as that dude because, I have to be like, hey, how you doing, sir? You did a good game this weekend, sir. So, hey, Mr. Jackson, sir.
Immaculate job this weekend, sir.
I just need you to stay healthy and make it to the league and, do better than what Vic did because we had a couple of mishaps. We're not going to talk about that. But, we just make better decisions. I mean, these star athletes, potential Heisman winners, always have this tendency to slip up and make stupid mistakes, stealing crab legs and stuff like that.
But what's crazy to me is that I don't feel like anybody thought of him as a Heisman hopeful before this season started.
Look here, that grind.
But now it's like
that grind is crazy.
If you don't look at him, at least in the top three, because I saw Christian McCaffrey play as well,
right?
And I just feel like he does it all.
But I'm saying, dude's performance this weekend had me like somebody was like, oh yeah, he just rushed another touchdown. I'm like, oh okay, we're running back. He's like, oh no, that's a quarterback.
That's the quarterback. And what's crazy about Lamar Jackson and why Vic said he was 5 times better than he was at Virginia Tech is because he can actually throw the football. He's not just a run first quarterback.
Look here, this generation of football players. I'll just say this: when it's time for them to get drafted, we need certain teams to make some good picks. Shout out to the Seahawks. I need y'all to be scouting.
I mean, here's the thing. The Seahawks can't go off and get another quarterback.
We need, because Russell's not doing the job right now. Speaking of that, that's going to get us into NFL. Let me go over here to these scores. The Panthers and the 49ers. Looks like Colin Kaepernick need to stand up some because it was 46-27. Cam went. I'm sorry.
Something throw it in there. It was only right. To. It was only right.
Little punny. But I mean, little pun intended. But I mean, hey, Colin, I appreciate what you're doing for the culture, bro. But 46-27, we need to talk, big fella. We need to have some type of conversation. The Cardinals put the smack down on the Bucks, of course. The Steelers came through with the win. Shout out to my roommate Tyson. That's his team. Now, this breaks my heart because the Seahawks
lost to the Los Angeles Rams.
Shut up. I don't want to hear no St. Louis person's mouth.
Here's the thing. We can still say they haven't scored a touchdown in Los Angeles. They won 9-3. 3 field goals.
They still haven't.
To 1 field goal. So we can still say the Los Angeles Rams haven't scored a touchdown since 94. But I'm not going to be the petty.
That's petty.
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
Petty.
I don't care.
It's very petty.
That's what I am. That's what I am.
Wake up in the morning, put on the petty shirt. But shout out to the hometown.
I'm still not over this Los Angeles Rams thing, guys. I'm still not over it.
Go ahead, get it. Go ahead, vent. Real
it's
quick.
Just that I don't know. It's just the only championship you guys won was in St. Louis. The only Super Bowl that the Rams organization has is in St. Louis. So with that being said, how do you go back to LA like we're gonna be a bigger and better team?
And they got a whole theme song too. They was playing it at the end of the game. I was hot. I was hot. But shout out to my hometown. You feel me? Atlanta, going to go over the Raiders 35-28. I appreciate y'all for uplifting my spirits. Cause
y'all almost didn't win.
Big fella. We ain't got to talk about that, big fella. But shout out to y'all, man. Hey, get the Super Bowl this time. I mean, granted, I'm not that confident because I need my Seahawks to redeem themselves. But Falcons, shout out to y'all. I need y'all to do it. Let's see here. The Chargers versus the Jaguars. I mean, nobody really cares. Yeah, but Chargers 38, Jaguars 14. Colts and Broncos. Now, this goes out to my roommate Jeremy because he's a big Broncos fan. The only one I think in the whole building of the crossing because don't nobody care about the Broncos. But they did
especially
beat up on
Peyton. Like, who are you guys without Peyton Manning?
Where is
they got Von Miller?
Where is Peyton Manning now? Look at you.
Are you guys gonna win again?
Oh my goodness! But shout out to them beating my homeboy Tez's team, the Colts, man, 34-20. This weekend was some upsets and there was some victories, but hey, it was a good weekend in college sports and in NFL sports. So, with that being said, I just need all of these athletes that y'all hear this, man, be safe. Make sure you take care of your bodies, hydrate, man, do the proper workout, proper stretching because our mules, and I'm going y'all for a little bit. Y'all had a game where dang near all the starters y'all were out because y'all were cramping. So hydrate. Stretch. Keep it going, man. We need y'all to bring home this ring for us, man. That trophy for us, so we can go, hey, 2016 season, goddamn me, champs. You feel me? Like, so we can't do that with y'all being injured and cramping on the sideline, screaming for your mama in the stands. So that's all I got this week for sports, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. There's something big happening here in sports this weekend, and hopefully this week it'll bring something even bigger. So,
Todd, we appreciate you with the sports segment. Guys, we're going to take a quick break real quick, and when we come back, me and Todd, we both going to tag team the next segment. You're listening to Campus Chatter.
The best 30 minutes of your life.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid,
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off.
We'd do anything for kids, yet 1 in 5 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school, so I'm trying to break that barrier.
My daughter, Brooklyn, was also a motivation for me to go back to school.
Every day after work, went straight to school, and it paid off.
At age 26, Kareem finished his high school diploma.
I could not have done it alone.
I see the future is really bright for me.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Campus Chatter, and I am the young king himself, Todd, sitting here with my boy, OG.
The young visionary. Colby Thompson, I'm in the building.
He had to come in pretty, didn't he?
Yeah, the young visionary.
Young visionary.
Again, I want to shout out my boy, the sound guy.
APZ.
Andrew Peterson. Man, he been working hard in here, y'all. Y'all should see him. He really does his thing, man. I really appreciate APs. But anyways, next segment we're going to talk about. We do just what's going on in the world. What are the current events of what's going on in the world today?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I want to hit is the New York bomber. So the New York police have found the New Jersey bomber, and they even had a shootout with him.
They took him. They immobilized him and then escorted him to prison. On a stretcher or whatever. But he
didn't die.
He didn't die. But Mr. Terrence Crutcher, yesterday or just a couple days ago,
it was Friday night.
It was Friday night.
Yeah, it was Friday night, I believe.
Was having car trouble, and on the video, as you see it from the helicopter, dude's walking back to his car with his hands up. And this is how you know it's kind of a sketchy joint, because the dude in the helicopter's like, oh yeah, he looks like a bad dude. How?
Yeah, he's a bad dude. How is he a bad dude from 100 feet in the air?
From 100 feet in the air with his hands above his head, walking back to his vehicle slowly. They shot this man in cold blood for no reason. They murdered this man. No way of trying to say they defended him. Nobody defended themselves. Nobody was a threat. His hands was above his head, and he was walking away from the police officers. He didn't get into
walking towards his own vehicle
that he was
windows were rolled up as well.
The reason why the police were there in the first place was because he said he was having car trouble. So I guess now adding to the list of how you can, what reason can you die being African American in America is car trouble is now added to the list. At first it was buying Skittles or walking home with an Arizona sweet tea, some Skittles, and having your hoodie on. Failing to signal your light, selling CDs,
selling cigarettes,
reaching for your license and your conceal and carry permit, and now it's having car trouble.
Not having car trouble.
So I guess now I'm just about to be that one dude, with a white T-shirt on, some white shoes, some white pants, riding on a white bicycle. Because that's really the only thing I don't see. What's next? And this is something I said to my girl earlier. It's to the point where we don't like me myself. I'm passionate about stuff like this.
I am too.
And we're very passionate about subjects like this. But it's to the point it's like you can't get angry anymore. It's like we're used to it now.
We're getting numb, and that's getting and like you laughing, but it's really getting sad because we're getting numb to it. Like it's just like another hashtag,
And then when people,
we got another hashtag to add to the list of hashtags.
Another trending topic, of course, and
it's going to be trending for a couple days until somebody sweeps them under the rug.
But on CNN, they had the headliner on the CNN website right now as we speak. Y'all probably gonna hear this a little later, but as I'm talking to y'all right now, the headliner on CNN's website is the divorce between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Like,
So I mean, that should kind of like
relevant. That's relevant in America today.
I mean,
we're talking about an entertainment divorce.
I mean, I feel like as many kids they've taken, and I guess that's the reason why they're a little bit more important than an innocent man losing his life because he had car trouble. Well, I mean, hey, philanthropy or whatever.
And what's crazy because the first episode we talked about the Colin Kaepernick situation. So now I feel like what happened this past Friday elevates anybody who has something negative or feels negatively towards Colin Kaepernick's positive, peaceful protest. Where are you, and are you speaking up about this man who lost his life for nothing?
His whole this, you understand? Like when people we see a video, we just see somebody get hit with bullets and they drop down, but you don't understand. This is somebody's dad. This is somebody's
He's a
brother.
Father of four. He was a father, a husband, and a father of four.
So they just lost that, and I'm laughing, to keep from, getting to the emotional point. But it's the thing about it. We take a knee, they want to riot, right? We take a bullet, they silent. That was a tweet from I think it was Lecrae I saw a few days ago, and he said it the best. We take a knee, they riot. We take a bullet, they quiet. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee, it was pandemonium. It was craziness. It was insanity, but this man is gone. Another man is gone. It hasn't even been a full year yet. It hasn't even been a full 3 months yet. It hasn't been at the full 3 months yet. I mean, not to mention the St. Louis activist that was found murdered in his car. And so we're not going. So and the thing about this, and I put it up on my Snapchat earlier. We talk about it. We have panels. We have discussions. We have marches.
We do a lot of talking.
We do a lot of talking, and a lot of pleading, and what we're trying to find a solution. You gotta understand, there is no solution. We have all these solutions in front of us, right? And I'm not gonna say there is no solution to solve all of the violence, but as much as we want a solution, when is it gonna happen? We keep asking for the solution to the problem. We keep trying to talk to each other. We have arguments. We have debates. We have social media, blackouts where we're putting up so much information about this individual and that individual. We have these things where literally you can't walk anywhere else without seeing somebody with a Black Lives Matter T-shirt on or All Lives Matter T-shirt on.
But I'm not really into.
I feel
like that's more of a corporate thing.
I can't.
I don't like people monetizing disaster.
That doesn't.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like you selling T-shirts with dead people's names on them.
And not even just that, but after the fact. And this is one thing I call temporary activists. Are you gonna see a bunch of tweets and a bunch of pictures posted and a bunch of stuff going on within the next couple of weeks, but after that it's quiet.
It's quiet.
And my cousin, me and my cousin was talking about it like 3 days ago. He said, "Bro, it's too quiet." And I was like, "What you mean?" He said, "You notice like ain't nobody died in like what 3-4 weeks maybe, if that." He said, I guarantee you somebody's going to die this week. And I didn't know about it until today. Like, I literally didn't know about it today. That's why I texted you about it. I was like, did you see that?
And I was like, I'm already on it.
I'm already on it. And I texted my cousin. I was like, I hate the fact that you write about this one. I do. And he's like, man, I'm trying to tell you, we get too quiet. We get a fire in us temporarily, and like you said, we so numb to it now. It's normal. Like my girl asked me what was wrong with me earlier. I was like, this is normal. It's normal now. Like just how lynchings were normal back in the 50s and 60s. This is normal for us. This is normal.
It's normality.
It's becoming something that's so common to where I feel like, by the time our kids get here, whenever we do decide to have children, years, decades. But by the time they get here, it's gonna be, hey, make sure you don't step in any of the blood when you walk outside. Make sure you step over that dead body before you come home. It's probably gonna be that normal. Because if this is normal to us now,
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling my kids, especially when I have them, I'm gonna be like, hey, when you get pulled over by the police, I don't care where you at, just drive home. Drive at a really slow pace. Don't go super high speed chase on them or anything. But take 40 miles per hour.
And just come on. And if anything, hold the hand you're not driving without the window, so they make sure that you're not riding with a weapon in your lap. And speaking of weapons, I wanted to make sure we touched the fact that Missouri State Legislature just it just passed you don't have to have a concealed carry in Missouri anymore, and that also enforces the stand your ground law, which is enforced in Georgia. And I'm familiar with that because, like I said, I'm from Georgia, so the stand your ground law is pretty much if you have a probable cause to, you feel like your life is in danger, feel like you have a threat against somebody, if somebody's threatening you, you can just shoot them in cold blood and murder them. And if they
that's the same thing Zimmerman got off on.
Yeah.
On the stand your ground
and
law.
Now it's in Missouri.
And now it's in Missouri.
All of these things going on, especially and not going on your hometown, but because of what happened with Mike Brown, Missouri, St. Louis people and cops do not have the best relationship at all.
Not at all.
Just like Kansas City people and cops do not.
I really feel like it's going to be a war zone because of this new.
It really is.
New concealed. It's
carry. You don't have to. And I was talking to one of my homeboys. You don't have to have a permit. You don't have to have training. And what you don't realize is soldiers who are in wars who go through months of training, they still accidentally kill their own people. So if you don't have training, you don't have a permit. What are you gonna do as the average man? As the average person that just had enough money to get a piece, and now I'm pretty sure you don't need to get a piece without having the proper funds now because it's easy for us. Everything's at our fingertips. Man, this what I'm in with. This is what I'm in with right here. Every time somebody dies, I want you just to tally it up. Put it in a notebook, put it on a piece of paper, do it on your wall, whatever you have. Tally it. And by the end of the month, by the end of the year, just see how many tally marks are there and just ask yourself, how do I feel about this? And what am I going to do to change it?
What can I do to make a difference about this? And what I want to end it with, and I'm glad you brought the new laws and stuff up that are getting passed in Missouri. I just want to tell everybody, just be safe, be smart. Like, don't do anything that your mother would not accept. Please. That's the first thing I think about whenever I make a decision. I'm a grown man. I'm 22 years old. But the first thing I think about when I make a decision, would my mother approve of the things that I am doing? Man, I just want everybody to keep that thought in mind.
For real. Please.
Be safe. But, guys, we're going to have one more commercial break, and we're going to come back with our last segment of the show. So stay tuned. This is Campus Chatter.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Layla Ali. I might be undefeated in professional boxing, but there's one problem I can't fight alone: childhood hunger. 17 million kids in America struggle with it. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
To help solve hunger in your community and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson, and I've toured the country dozens of times, and there's one thing I see everywhere: childhood hunger. The sad truth is that 17 million kids struggle with it. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers up surplus food and gets it to hungry kids. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
To help solve hunger in your community and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Campus Chatter, the best 30 minutes of your life. I am the young visionary, Colby Thompson.
And this is the young king himself, J. Todd.
All right, so I don't know if you guys remember, but on the first episode, I told you guys that this last segment is going to be called Campus Chatter Hits the Streets, because we're not the only ones with voices and opinions, so I definitely want to reach spread the...
Right. We just two guys. We just two individuals who just so happen to know certain things about certain topics.
And we got a podcast. Thanks to Joe Moore. Love you, Joe.
Thank you.
Love you, Joe.
He's good for the culture right there. Good for the culture.
But anyways, so I finally hit the streets. Asked the campus what do they actually think about, because we talked about the Colin Kaepernick situation on the first episode. So I actually asked the campus what they thought about everything that was going on in the NFL, and this is what they had to say.
I feel like he's standing up for what he believes in, and that everyone's right. And the people that are criticizing him haven't taken the time to even try to understand why he's doing it. So they're ignorant, and it's the society's job to try to educate. You can't be mad at people for being ignorant. You just have to try to educate them.
I mean, I understand what dude doing. It's because he is correct. You know, the third stanza in the national anthem is about slaves and all that. So I do understand where he's coming from. Everybody got their own personal opinion on how they feel about certain issues. So I don't see no wrong with what he doing.
The Colin Kaepernick situation, the way I look at it is coming from a soldier in the United States Army standpoint, I do not feel like he is in the wrong. Because if you know the history, and I'm an African-American myself, if you know the history, the flag was not built for African-Americans. When the flag was built, we were still slaves. So for him to take a knee and want to sit down during the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you listen to the actual Pledge of Allegiance, it does not say anything that will even portray how an African-American would feel during the time that they actually established that. So I'm for Colin Kaepernick and what he's standing for. I would sit down with him if I didn't have to stand up in uniform. So I feel like at this point, it's a lot of things that people want to say because they can say it. And like I said, I defend him. I put on that uniform every single day, and I will stand up and defend him in everything that I fight to defend. And he has the right to stand his ground. He has the right to sit down during the Pledge of Allegiance. So he is absolutely right for what he is doing. Nothing is wrong with it.
Yeah, guys, that's all I got to pick up from the campus of University of Central Missouri. I only got to talk to a select few because, everybody kept looking at me with the microphone. They were like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. But I'm going to touch on one thing that I thought was a huge, great acknowledgement to say. Because this was a young lady. She said, I think, whoever disagreeing with him is, ignorant. But we shouldn't be getting mad at ignorance. Mm-hmm. It's the only way to get rid of ignorance in the country is if we teach each other. Because not all white people know everything about black people. Not all black people know everything about white people. Not all Hispanics know everything about Indians. Not all Indians know things about.
People aren't going to agree with
we
what they
all
don't
don't know
understand.
everything about each other. So we have to get to know each other, each other's culture, and that's when we can grow as a nation.
Yeah, because like I said, people are not going to agree with what they don't fully understand because that's how normal arguments happen. You have a premise, somebody else has a premise. You don't really agree with what the person is saying because you're not really understanding where they're coming from. You're just assuming because of the preconceived notion you have. Shout out to the Psych Matrix. But anyway.
But what's crazy with me is that, I don't know, I just feel like I'm always the type of person that if me and you were talking, we can talk sports.
You got to see both sides.
You could be like, my favorite basketball team is blank. Mm-hmm. And they're going to beat your team this bad.
Yeah.
That's your opinion.
Right.
You're
entitled to it. What am I getting mad for?
And I'm always, I don't know, that's just me personally. I think I've always just been the type of person that just, everybody has their own opinion. Not everybody's going to agree with you. But I do, at the same note, like to look at both sides, get a firm understanding of both sides, just so I can't be too quick to judge either side.
Yeah, because somebody who's stuck in their own sane mind and beliefs and never open to nobody else's, opinions or what they have to say, they blind themselves because they just have this whole thing like, okay, what I'm saying is right, what I'm saying is valid, and that's all it is to it. That's crazy.
So we're going to end this episode, guys, with saying the next time you're in an argument with somebody, just honestly and purely listen to their side of the argument.
Yeah, like my baby say,
you can actually you can probably understand what they're talking about and be like, I'm sorry. Or, that's how you feel. This is how I feel. And we can just walk away and we both understand each other's sides.
Like my girls say all the time, close your mouth and open up your ears.
I love
boy, that was good for the culture. Shout out to you, boo boo. Hey, baby. I had to be corny on that note.
But you guys,
go ahead and shout out your girl too.
No, I'm not gonna shout my girl out. I'm not gonna shout my girl out because then she gonna want me to shout her out every time.
Oh no, she already knows. It's very rare.
Guys, we're gonna get up out of here. We're gonna wrap this up. We really appreciate you all for listening to Campus Chatter. And
yeah, I mean that's all we got for you. This ain't free. This ain't free.
So I am the young visionary Colby Thompson,
and I am the young king himself, Todd.
And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.